Hey, what's up, guys? I want to talk to you today about a knife I've pretty much just received. This is the Spyderco Vallotton. They call it a sub-hilt knife, and it's a really cool knife, guys. I saw this in the Amsterdam pictures from Wooter from Spyderco.Com, and the knife it stuck out as something very unique, very cool, very beautiful knife from Spyderco. And I just want to talk to you guys about it today. Very nice knife. My impressions from opening the box was that it's a lot beefier than I thought it was going to be, which is very nice. It's very well built. As you can see, it's got polished G10 scales, stainless steel bolsters, and it's got a kind of a sub bolster. It's one piece of stainless steel there with a piece of G10 inlaid inside of it. Very cool. First time for Spyderco for doing that. Opening is very easy. As you can see, it's got a very large Spyderco hole. And you can call these thumb studs, but what they are is the blade stop. And see how it's got these two grooves here? Kind of like a strider. The thumb studs are the stop pin. And that right there is the stop pin for closing. Very easy to open. The spotter hole is actually placed perfect. It's very easy to open. And what's natural to me is I use the thumb hole, and then my thumb kind of rests against the thumb stud. I just have my fingers, my thumb did on the Strider S&G. Very easy to open, not difficult at all. Now the blade is very cool. They call it a modified Tanto. Beautiful blade. The main cutting surface is a hollow grind. Very sharp hollow grind. Of course, Spyderco. It's going to come sharp right out of the box. And the tip is convex. So it's got a strong tip to it. It's gonna be able to put up to a lot of use. It's got a thick tip. And as you can see, the blade is really thick. I'm not really sure of the thickness, but here's a Hinderer XM18, and you can see it's thicker than a Hinderer, which says a lot, because the Hinderer is a thick knife. Very thick blade, but it comes down to a very sharp edge due to that hollow grind. Very nice. It's got a very nice look overall. Very ergonomic. It fits very well in the hand. It's got that thumb ramp here and the sub hilt. Kind of locks your hand in place. It does have jimping, but the jimping is very smooth. It doesn't really grip your thumb unless you press really hard against it. But it's not needed because the thumb ramp is very steep due to the way the opening hole is positioned. The liner lock knife, very thick liner lock. Compared to the Sage 2, it's almost as thick. It's a very thick liner lock. Now this is one part of the knife that I was kind of hesitant about. As you can see, the liner lock is raised. Now the way you'd see that, you'd think that it would get in the way, it would be uncomfortable, dangerous, maybe your hand would cause the knife to close, but I'm telling you now, it's a very strong tension on that lock, and even gripping it in a saber grind like this, I see how my fingers are turning red. They're pressing against that lock, and it's not uncomfortable at all. Very thick, and this is way more harder than you're going to be gripping it in normal use. About like that is how you're going to be using it. and it's not uncomfortable. Now, disengaging the lock, maybe in very harsh situations, maybe if you're using this for a duty knife or in combat and you're wearing gloves or something, and somehow you could disengage that lock, but it's very strong tension, it's very thick. It would take a lot of pressure to actually disengage that accidentally with just using the meat of your finger. So I don't see that as being a problem, but I'm not saying it couldn't happen. Maybe it could, but it would take a lot of pressure, a lot of force, because there's a lot of tension on that lock bar. It's very thick, and it's got a lot of tension. It's very nice. Another thing I'm not too keen about this knife is the four-way clip. Now, I know Spyderco is famous for their four-way clips, you know, but I would have liked to have seen it for just tip up left or right hand carry, because these bolsters are just beautiful, and it's a shame to drill holes in a bolster like that. It just takes away from the knife. And the clip is kind of that bronze kind of gunmetal gray type color, like on the Chalkway. I think this knife would have done a lot better with just a all flat black clip, maybe even a wire clip, although it's a pretty heavy duty knife, so the wire clip probably wouldn't be enough for this knife, but a flat black clip would have been a lot better. It would have matched the knife more. Maybe even a custom type clip, like something on the PPT, because this knife is just beautiful and that clip seems kind of like an afterthought. Very fast opening, especially with that thumb stud, and you can use them as a thumb stud. You can open it all the way using those thumb studs. There's plenty of room. So, let you look. The liners are hollowed out. They have holes in them. They're drilled out. There's that. And let's just do some comparisons here. The Sage 2. I would compare this to the a Crisp Reeve large Sabenza or an Unmanzan. Sorry, I don't have my large Sabenza. It's out getting blasted. So, but very similar. Very heavy duty, slender type scales, and a thin blade. This knife will run you about $180 to $190. Very worth it. It's got S30V stainless steel. Very nicely built. Of course, you have that thick liner. You have a partial, I believe that's probably the G10 backspacer. Yes, it is. Just a very nicely built knife, guys. This is the Spyderco Vallotton sub-hilt fighter. Very nice knife. Thick blade, very sharp, with that concave or with that hollow grinding. Just a great knife. You got a lanyard hole. It's just a really well built knife. I like it a lot. If you're looking for a heavy duty knife from Spyderco, this or the Grail Bradley is about the toughest you can get. Alright, y'all. Let's do some measurements real quick. Just to show you. It's got about a 4-inch blade with a 3 3/4 inch cutting surface. Overall, it's about 8.5 inches. So, alright, y'all. Take care now. Be safe. Stay sharp.